covered up before his players got in the locker room yesterday during a walkthrough. Wouldn't allow him to see it. Now, Brent, you've been studying the finer points of these two coaches, the little general and the big tuna. Talk about the keys here in the IBM Power Poll.
Let's define the success of these coaches, Jim. Bill Parcells, tough love. Yeah, he's a little ornery, but his players will run through the wall for him. His system fits the players, not the players fits the system. He's a gambler. He loves to gamble, especially in big games. He keeps his players on the edge. You could be gone if you make a dumb mistake. And Tuna's helpers, he's got some great assistant coaches. Mike played for Mike Shanahan in San Francisco. He's a perfectionist. Every play has to be perfect. He's so smart offensively, yet he's great at defense. Sets a lot of high goals for himself and for his team. Stresses team. There's no individuals or selfishness. And of course, as you all know, he's always had great tight ends.
There's no doubt you're a great tight end, Brent, but I'll tell you what makes Bill Parcells sensational. He can still relate to the young players today. Even though as he gets older, he can relate to them. And really, it's special to watch him in pregame warm-up as he walks around and talks to the players.
Well, Mike Parcells has been great for Keyshawn Johnson. I talked to him. He should get the ball plenty today. But Parcells told him one thing: stay away from Romanowski. He's trouble. He'll provoke you. He's going to try to get him out of his game.
There'll be a lot of provoking in this ball game. When you talk about Parcells and these hardcore coaches, the money, the egos, free agency, all the movement. We've seen, if you're a head football coach, you better get it done and get it done now. You tell these players, we got a job to do. Let's get the job done now, or you're gone, or I may be gone.
Hey, on the NFC side, they're going to overtime. The last playoff game that went to overtime, Marcus played in it. And your Chiefs beat the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's right. My friend Bill Cowers, you know why.
Block punt. It was a block punt. Next up, we're going to go inside the playoffs with Randy Cross when the NFL Today continues live from Denver here on CBS.
The NFL Today is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. IBM, are you ready for e-business? And by 10-10-220.
That was interesting.
The all-new Volkswagen Jetta. Sometimes everything just comes together. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers.
Over the last 9 years, tuition is up 73%, car prices 39%, houses 24%, and the food on Wendy's Super Value menu hasn't risen a penny. 9 years and still 99 cents.
No, that's a sound economic policy.
We sent the RCA experts to learn more about how people watch TV.
You're watching the Channel.
40. Come on. Ooh. 40.
The result? RCA TVs with Guide Plus Gold. The revolutionary on-screen guide that lets you find what's on faster and easier when you just can't wait.
Chow, chow, chow. Samson's so healthy. Know why? Cat Chow has advanced nutrition with omega-6 fatty acids to help keep his immune system healthy inside, skin and coat healthy outside. Purina Cat Chow for a healthy cat.
Men who have battled as brothers through combat thick and thin confront each other for a prize only one can win.
Yeah, say it again, y'all. Look out. Ah, wow. Good God, y'all. Ah, yeah.
Well, they say defenses win championships, and far be it from veteran linebackers Pepper Johnson and Bill Romanowski to argue. Romo won Super Bowls with San Francisco and last year here with Denver, while Pepper earned a pair of rings with Bill Parcells on New York's other NFL franchise. Time now for our RCA Inside the Playoffs breakdown of today's Jets-Broncos AFC Championship game. That means Randy Cross joins us to share his insights. Hello there, Mr. Cross.
Hey,
you played in this environment 4 times, 4 championship games, won 3 of them, went on to win 3 Super Bowl rings. What is this like?
Well, once you stop hyperventilating, forget the altitude. Once you stop hyperventilating, it's just another game. But I can tell you, if you're a player that's never been in this situation, if you get here and lose, you are miserable.
Let's talk about the Jets' case, what they must do in this game today.
Well, it starts out with no mental mistakes. The Jets can't have it. Last week, the Miami Dolphins had 6 false starts penalties in this pressure cooker with all this noise right here at Mile High Stadium. Number 2, when you get your early opportunities, you have to take advantage of them because this is such a wild place to play. Last week, Miami starts off. They drop the first pass they throw, and they drop another pass in the same drive. First shot out of the box, they're dropping passes. Then Denver gets the ball back. John Elway flushes out right here, throws his pass, has no business throwing this pass. Right into linebacker's hands, Jones, 52, and he drops it. When you get those shots, you better take advantage of it.
Those were 3 opportunities in the first 3 minutes blown, and the Broncos went on to blow them out. All right, well, what about Terrell Davis? What's their game plan here today against him?
Well, with Terrell Davis, you would better limit his runs to about 10 yards or so, because when he gets the big runs, it's because of gaping holes up front and bad tackling. It's not flag football. You don't grab for the flag. You better tackle Terrell Davis, and I mean tackle him hard.
What kind of game do you think Davis will have? What kind of numbers?
I think he has an under 100-yard game. I don't think he goes for over 100 against this Jets defense.
And what kind of game do you think the Jets want to find themselves in?
They want a physical football game. Denver is not a physical football team. They're an artsy, craftsy kind of a team. They want to play physical if you're the New York Jets.
So you're not looking for any style points here today, huh?
Low on style points, high on hitting.
All right, let's move over to the Denver side and the Broncos keys here, Randy.
Well, the Denver Broncos are a fast break football team. They're the closest thing to old Magic Johnson's LA Lakers basketball team. They want to play at their pace. They want to run Terrell. They want to get a lead, and then they want to kill you with a big pass play.
What are they going to do with Vinny, against Vinny?
Well, really important against this Denver defense. Vinny knows I'm going to throw on first down. So you got to blitz Vinny, and you got to make him into a decision situation. Because when Denver gets these big plays like this, and they score, and you get the ball back on first down against Denver's defense, you had better blitz, and you better get in his face.
Against the Jets defense, what will be the Denver game plan, you think?
Well, I think the Denver game plan against the New York Jets defense is really pretty simple. You spread out the Jets defense. They're not as good athletically as Denver. That means 2 things to me. That means Shannon Sharp has a huge game here today. It's quality, not quantity. I'm talking about big plays. And in the red zone, you spread out that defense, nothing but trouble.
What kind of game do you think Sharp's going to have? You say a big game. How many catches we talking
Well,
here?
normally you'd say, 10 catches for Shannon Sharp. But in this game, Shannon could have 4 catches, but he could have 3 for touchdowns.
All right, who's going to win? Let's get right down to it here. Let's make a pick here.
I think the New York Jets make the early plays. They can win this football game. But in Mile High, Elway's last performance, I'm looking for the Denver Broncos to come out of this thing smoking.
All right, Randy, we'll see at halftime. Thank you very much. And now here are the results from this week's CBS Sports Line. Question of the week, America Online poll. We asked what was the most exciting regular season game this year, and just over a third of you who voted online picked the season opener, San Francisco's overtime victory against the Jets when Hurst won it with that long run. And a reminder, for continuous NFL playoff and Super Bowl coverage, log on to CBSSportsLine.com, or for America Online users, the keyword, of course, is just CBS Sports Line. Game time is approaching. We'll be back with more from Mile High in just a moment.
All right, captains, we're going to have a coin toss now. If there's a team, we'll call it in the air. We want a good, clean game. We're all professionals here. Does anyone have change for $1?
What? Want to get away? Southwest has your ticket to freedom. For only $99 or less, you can fly coast to coast when you purchase by January 19th and travel January 5th through June 3rd.
You are now free to move about the country.
Dennis looks left and rolls right. It's a pass to Brooklyn. Touchdown!
I'm gonna call Pete.
Hey, make sure you dial 10-10-321 first.
Why?
Because it saves me moolah.
Really?
Yeah, and it's half price for calls over 10 minutes.
Half price? That's a lot. What about monthly fees?
No fees, no hidden charges.
Here, look how low my phone bill is.
Wow, 10-10-321 does save a lot.
Don't bother calling.
Why not?
You just lost.
10-10-3-2-1. Now even better.
The marvel of its aerodynamics, the sheer exhilaration of takeoff. It's enough to make an aerospace engineer jealous. Chrysler Concorde LXI, a 225 horsepower V6, a spacious leather-trimmed cabin, ranked best premium midsize car in initial quality by J.D. Power and Associates. Chrysler, engineered to be great cars.
This is where I wrote the Yellow Pages. I took the liberty to tape myself writing, and I have that
He
here.
knew it was going to be history. He knew he was onto something historical.
The dark and stormy night.
This book opens up a world of imagination to what ideas could be.
Death and dying. This is the night I was born to a werewolf. This is the night I came up with it. Oh, this is it. It was A. A! It was A! It's just an inspiration. What I thought was this. Put the book in alphabetical order. Accountant, attorney, acupuncturist. Alphabetical order? Who'd have thought?
For complete NFL coverage and updates throughout the playoffs, click on America Online, keyword CBS Sportsline, or on the web, cbs.sportsline.com.
Welcome back to the NFL today. Mile High Stadium getting set for the Jets and the Broncos, the AFC Championship. Spectacular day as far as sunshine, but weather will be a factor here because of the high winds. If you're just joining us, gusting up to 50-mile-an-hour winds at times. It's been interesting watching the kickers during the pregame warm-ups trying to gauge the wind. You know, the Jets and Broncos, two original AFL franchise. But it's been 30 years since the Jets, the upstarts of the AFL, led by Broadway Joe Namath, ushered in a new era of professional football with their upset win over the Colts in Super Bowl III.
He's a hero. He's a pro. He's a Mr. Something Else on Broadway Joe. 1, 2, 3, hip, go, go, go. No one else can soar like Broadway Joe.
We, as a team, we all felt the same way, but we couldn't say it. But the guy with the white shoes could say it. So we were all saying, yeah, way to go, Joe, way to go.
That was just a good reaction, heartfelt, sincere feeling. You know, I got news for you, buddy. We're going to win the game, I guarantee it.
We wondered what he had to drink the night before to make such a comment.
I didn't think about it until the next day when I saw Coach Eubank.
I said, well, yeah, you better play a good game because you made it more difficult for us.
Now it was up to the counterculture quarterback with the white shoes and long hair to earn the respect of the National Football League.
They thought we were rinky-dinks, and so they didn't think we were any good. And we had to prove that, and the best way to do it was to beat them.
The AFL champs were younger and less experienced than Don Shula's Colts, but Namath's passing and Matt Snell's running seized control of the game.
Namath on a handoff to Matt Snell. Snell at the 5, Snell at the 3, Snell touchdown!
The upstart Jets continued to confound the Colts and built a 16-0 fourth quarter lead.
When it got to a point where there were 6 minutes, 11 seconds left, I looked up, I saw that. I started praying, literally. I said, please, God, not for Baltimore to do bad or for us to do well, but let the clock run. I'll never forget that. Please, God, let the clock run. Run, clock, run.
Instead, Johnny Unitas ran in to replace Earl Morrall, who had failed to capitalize on several key opportunities. But not even Mr. Clutch could change the course of destiny.
Unitas goes back to pass. He's in the pocket. Unitas throwing for the end zone. It is intercepted in the end zone by Randy Beverly. He downs the ball.
It was near the end of the game. They were driving for a score, and we were able to shut them down, and then Joe came in and put the icing on the cake.
2 seconds, 1 second. The clock has run out, and the ball game is over. There's the gun, and the Jets are champions of the football world.
There were a bunch of New York people, had to be New Yorkers. They had green on, you know, hats and everything, and they were just so happy. And we were sharing, and it was kind of like, yeah, this is it. We're number one, you know. Yes, we did it.
That game, and I still say it even today, 30 years later, probably was my most gratifying game as an individual at any level of football.
The most memorable moment was seeing Pete Rozelle with the championship trophy waiting to give that to the American Football League. not the National Football League, but the American Football League. We had done it.
You can only know how hard it is to get there if you've been there. And it's hard to get there. It's amazing to me that it's 30 years because to me it was just a little while ago.
The 30th anniversary celebrations of the Jets' victory have been tempered by the passing this fall of Weeb Ewbank, the Hall of Fame coach and architect of the Jets' Super Bowl victory. And to honor his memory, the Jets have been wearing a decal with the simple inscription, Weeb. And one other note, Joe Namath, Broadway Joe, will be joining us live. We'll have a hookup with Joe at halftime from his Florida home. Let's go down on the field right now. Armin Katayan with a report. Armin?
You know, Jim, I talked to Mike Shanahan just a few moments ago. He had said earlier in the week, last week in his pregame speech, he barely had to say anything to his team. They were ready to bust right out of the locker room. In fact, they're in the locker right now, due out in just a few more minutes. When I asked him what he would say today, he said, really nothing. This team is ready to play, other than the magnitude of the moment for John Elway, doing everything that they can to make sure number 7 doesn't go out a loser in his final home game. Jim, back to you.
All right, thank you, Armin. Let's talk about the wind and what impact that'll have on this game, Craig.
On the field in pregame, Jason Elam was out kicking, and I was watching him, and he said he was aiming 20 yards to the right of the goalpost on a 30-yard attempt. The ball would end up 10 yards to the left, that going into the closed end. He also said it'd be hard just for the punters in this ball game to catch the snap. And I'll tell you something else. It will happen in this ball game. There will be a game plan offensively with the wind and a game plan when you don't and you got it in your face.
And the best guy at that is Bill Parcells. He plays the elements. This guy calls the weatherman 4 times a day to find out what's going on. He knows what's going on. He's the king of going for it on 4th down. You know he's going to go for it every 4th down.
Hey, Mike, what about the field conditions, though? We were down on the field before the game. The field looks great from here, but it's awful sandy down there. The turf is kind of tough. The Jets are a turf team. They're going to have to watch their footing out there. The last couple teams that have come in here have had to change their cleats at halftime. The Jets better be prepared going out here in the first half.
Curtis Martin needs to have a big day. He needs to move the chains and keep the Bronco offense on the bench. They have to convert on 3rd down, and they can't turn the ball over. That's going to be key for the Jets.
All right, so we know Bill Parcells has part ownership in the Weather Channel, and this plays right into his hands, the high winds. Let's go around one more time now, make a prediction here before this game gets kicked off. Mike?
Well, I hate to go against Bill Parcells in championships games. It's going to be a close one. I like Denver 31-28.
I take a look at that Atlanta game, and I think the Jets maybe have the same possibility, guys. So I'm going to go with the Jets.
Oh, okay.
You know, I've been picking the Jets all year, but I just can't bring myself to pick them here in Denver. Mike Shanahan, the Broncos are too sharp.
You know what? No way you pick against the Broncos. The Broncos at home are going to win the game, and I want to get the whisper picker guy here. Who you going to pick, huh? Mr. Whisper.
I'm going with the home team. And now the Jets are being introduced, and let's listen in here at Mile High.
Ladies and gentlemen, on a surreal Sunday, are you ready for some football? Introducing the defense for the New York Jets. At left defensive end from Missouri, number 95, Rick Lyle. At defensive tackle from Georgia, number 72, Jason Ferguson. At right defensive tackle from East Carolina, number 93, Aaron Logan. Ernie Logan. At right defensive end from Tennessee State, number 98, Anthony Pleasant. At left linebacker from Georgia, number 57, Mo Lewis. At middle linebacker from Ohio State, number 52, Pepper Johnson. At right linebacker from Western Illinois, number 50,
John Elway. This field has been his stage for a glorious 16-year run. All indications are that this could be the final performance at Mile High Stadium for the magnificent number 7. We'll be back on the NASDAQ MX Halftime Report. We'll be talking live with the MVP of Super Bowl III, Jets Hall of Fame quarterback Joe Namath. In the meantime, enjoy the championship game right here on CBS.
Wednesday on 60 Minutes 2, you might not treat your next trip to the dentist or your child's as routinely as your last visit when you find out what happened to this little boy. Wednesday.
Thanks for making CBS America's most watched network. Welcome home.
Oh, how happy you have made me.
Your Ford dealers will make you happy with 15 different models under $15,000, including Escorts, Contours, ZX2s, even Rangers and F-150s. Now get 0.9 financing or $1,000 cash back on Ranger. Choose Escort or ZX2 and get $1,500 cash back, or 0.9 financing plus $750 cash back. 15 models under $15,000. Now that'll make you happy. Only at your local Ford dealer.
Hi, I'd like to start getting home delivery of the New York Times.
Now you can enjoy Sunday even more by getting the New York Times delivered to your home every weekend. And if you call now, you'll save 50% off the regular home delivery price. Then wake up to the things you care about most. What do you think about first thing Sunday morning?
First thing, relaxing with my coffee and the Sunday New York Times. It's what Sundays were made for.
First thing, I think about my family in America and in my homeland.
For just $2 a week for 8 weeks, you get a world of ideas, insight, and discovery you won't find anywhere else.
I just love the arts, and nothing satisfies my passion like the Sunday Times.
Call now, 1-800-357-4145.
Hi, I'd like to start getting home delivery of the New York Times.
First thing, my New York Times. Another day to learn something new.
The New York Times. Call today.
Sports with Ken Broom on Channel 9 Eyewitness News, weeknights at 6 and 11.
CBS Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Their moves so far have been sure, steady, and successful. And now they are one step from the game's ultimate contest. As the season progressed, patterns emerged, strengths were discovered, and the team's identities formed. Bill Parcells once again has shown the skill of a craftsman by resurrecting a journeyman quarterback in the crusade for excellence. And the coach, known for his control, knew to let loose the gifts of his most explosive weapon.
Touchdown, New York Jets. Just Keystone Johnson.
And he knew that a strong ground attack controlled the game.
Touchdown, Curtis Morton of the New York Jets.
Denver head coach Mike Shanahan counters with a legendary quarterback, passing into history in what could be his final home game. And the powerful efficiency of the league's leading rusher and its MVP.
He's gone. Davis. Touchdown, Denver.
The strength and artistry of a volatile tight end.
Touchdown. Shannon Sharp.
The Grandmasters know the pieces they have and what moves they can make. Their two teams know how far they've come. Now they're about to find out how far they can go. The New York Jets, the Denver Broncos, the AFC Championship game. Next. Welcome to a city and to a stadium that loves its Broncos. It is where the AFC crown will be won today, and it will go to either the upstart New York Jets or to the defending Super Bowl champion Denver Broncos. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mile High Stadium. Along with my partner, Phil Simms, I'm Greg Gumbel. This promises to be an emotional and historic day today, not just because the Super Bowl berth is at stake, but because it figures to be John Elway's last go-round here at Mile High Stadium, and after so many years of watching so many great performances, it's kind of a strange thing to contemplate.
It is strange, Greg. It's been a lot of fun watching. In my opinion, John Elway is physically the most gifted quarterback to ever play in the National Football League. He can run, throw, and he's tough. But the last few years, he's been helped out by a really special player, Terrell Davis, the most valuable player in the National Football League this year and the best player in the National Football League.
Well, the hopes of the New York Jets ride on the right arm of Vinny Testaverde, and all he has been described as a journeyman quarterback, but he has become much more than that this year, the best passer in the AFC.
I'll just say this about Vinny Testaverde. 13-1 as a starter. He has played 14 straight consistent games as a quarterback. My thing is, will Vinny Testaverde change today? I don't think so.
It promises to be a big day, a piece of the Super Bowl championship puzzle to be decided here today, and one more mile-high battle to be fought by that man. The AFC Championship kickoff right after this.
The American General Financial Group, Live the Life You've Imagined, presents A Season to Remember.
This is what you work all off season for.
Touchdown to Curtis Martin. Back goes Cunningham. Coxon fires. Touchdown. Touchdown, Eddie McCaffrey.
Yes, much more excitement than that.
Davis to the end zone. Touchdown, Denver. No, he dives into the end zone. It is unbelievable.
For over 70 years, our business has been helping generations of families live a better life. With retirement plans, life insurance, consumer loans. We're American General Financial Group. 50,000 men and women, over $100 billion in assets, helping over 12 million people live the life they've imagined. American General Financial Group. Live the life you've imagined.
CBS, the year-round leader in sports television. The Great American Race.
Dale Earnhardt, champion of the Daytona 500.
The unforgettable moments of March Madness.
It's to Jenkins to Drew for the win. Gone. Kentucky wins the championship.
The tradition that's unlike any other.
Marco Mera has won the Masters.
An eye on the world's greatest golfers. And glory's last shot. The world's toughest tennis. College football's perennial powerhouses. The NFL on CBS, the way it should be. Because when you look for champions, you look to CBS Sports.
A look at the weather conditions for today's AFC Championship game. The temperature is 40, gusting winds down on the field. It is clear and sunny, but it is windy. The flags have been swirling since we arrived at Mile High Stadium today. The Jets have won the toss. They will receive, and they'll be moving left to right on your screen. Kevin Williams, 23, Dave Meggett, 22, are deep for the kick from Jason Elam, and we're underway. At the 3, it's Meggett. Dragged down at the 15-yard line. Tito Paul, number 28, made the tackle. Vinny Testaverde, journeyman quarterback through 11 seasons, but this 12th finds Vinny in the AFC Championship game with the season's best passer rating in the AFC. Up front, the offensive line of Elliott, Berger, Malai, O'Dwyer, and the rookie Fabini has started every game for the Jets this year. Veteran Keith Byers, 1,000-yard rusher Curtis Martin in the backfield, outstanding wide receivers in Keyshawn Johnson and Wayne Corbett, and the tight end is Kyle Brady. Testaverde throwing on first down, has his man out to the 25-yard line. That is Wayne Corbett. A pickup of 11 and the first down. The Denver defense looks like this. A front four of Harold Hasselbeck, Keith Traylor, Trevor Price, Ma'a Tanavasa. Mobley, Tadrez, and Romanowski are Denver's leading tacklers in that order. They start at linebacker Crockett and Gordon. The cornerbacks Atwater and Braxton with a combined 22 years of experience at safety. From the 26, Testaverde to throw again. Corbett again. And again, first down yardage for the New York Jets. In overtime at the Metrodome, the Atlanta Falcons have qualified for their first ever appearance in the Super Bowl, 30-27 winners over the Minnesota Vikings. Congratulations to Dan Reeves and company.
That's right. Been there many times before. Gets one more chance. But you saw today the first couple plays for the New York Jets. Their offense is going to throw the football to set up the run.
Curtis Martin, Keith Byers in the backfield. Corbett in motion. The pitch for Martin. Fails to cut it upfield. Tyrone Braxton coming up from the safety position. Let's check in downstairs with Armin Katayan. Armin.
Greg, you mentioned this win. One word for it, vicious. This is as bad as I've seen it all year long. Rick Dennison, special teams coach, said it's as bad as he's seen it all year long, particularly this early in the game. It's particularly bad on the Jets sideline. Back to you.
All right, Armin, thank you.
It's not even messing Armin's hair up, though. That is some good TV hair you got down there. The wind didn't even move it.
That's why he's Armin Katayan.
That's it.
2nd and 11.
Now, Greg,
the middle is Curtis Martin for a couple.
I'm sorry. One of the reasons why the Jets want to come out and throw is, one, they think they can throw on this Denver defense. But the biggest reason of all is Denver's defensive line is active. It's fast. It stunts. It's hard to run the football on them. The Jets like to do a lot of pulling and trapping with their offensive line. It's hard to do that when defensive linemen are moving.
Greg Robinson, defensive coordinator, looking at a 3rd and 6. Dave Meggett has come in and is flanked as a wide receiver to the top of your screen. You see the CBS first down line near midfield. Testaverde, time down the middle, has Corbett to the 30, inside the 30 to the Denver 27-yard line.
Well, that's a good read by Vinny Testaverde. The 5 wide receivers, the Broncos, they do it themselves, so that you know this defense has seen it. But the weakness of it is down the middle. Look at Wayne Corbett. Nobody around him, makes the catch, and the win so far. Vinny Testaverde has thrown the ball perfectly. Spinning the ball, good spirals. That's how you throw the ball with accuracy in the win.
Testaverde 3 of 3 and all 3 completions to Wayne Corbett. Martin back in the game in the backfield. And he gets the pitch.
You know, last night we had a chance to talk to the New York Jets, the coaches. Wayne Corbett came in. What did he say to us? He was kind of giving us a little crying act. Oh, we don't have any plays for me. I don't think I'm going to get to catch it. They don't design them for me anymore, and you just never know. And I believe him. All week, he probably didn't see a lot of catches in practice, but you don't know how a defense is going to react to you. Always be prepared. He has been.
Jets coaches and players promising us that the Jets would be aggressive on offense today. They have been that so far. The screen for Martin, and that's cut down before it can gain much yardage. Tanavasa and Steve Atwater, number 27. Let's check in downstairs with Bonnie Bernstein. Bonnie?
All right, Greg, you know how everybody talks about how loud Mile High is and how disruptive it is, and it makes opponents tough to make the call. One thing the Jets have going for him, Vinny Testaverde told me when he was in Baltimore, he would audible 60% of the time. They hardly ever do it in New York.
Thank you, Bonnie.
That's a good point. The crowd noise, the Jets do not audibilize. Vinny Testaverde said, I will go on basically the same count all day long to get my offensive lineman in a rhythm so the crowd can't be a factor.
Corbett in motion on 3rd and 9. Play action. Testaverde with time, throws Byers across the 25, but that's well short of a first down. Mobley and Cadrez were there to meet it.
And another guy, number 27, Steve Atwater, on the defense. The play before, he stopped a screen play with his tackle that could have been a touchdown. This time, nobody opened down the field. Testaverde throws it. Good tackle by Glenn Cadrez.
This will be a 42-yard field goal attempt by John Hall. John Kidd will hold. And that will sail to the right. The gusty wind claims its first victim of the day, and when we come back, John Elway will take the field.
All right, captains, we're going to have a coin toss now. If there's a team, we'll call it in the air. We want a good, clean game. We're all professionals here. Does anyone have change for $1?
What? Want to get away? Southwest has your ticket to freedom. For only $99 or less, you can fly coast to coast when you purchase by January 19th and travel January 5th through June 3rd.
You are now free to move about the country.
I can't believe you tore a stunt like that. What were you thinking? You weren't thinking, were you? I don't think so. You think you're different? You think you're special? No, I don't. Get that camera out of here. Did we go over this? We did. You want to coach this team? I didn't know it was the last one. He's so sensitive. These are mine, too.
Heard the buzz? My honey barbecue wings are back at KFC. Dripping with my zingy honey barbecue sauce. Now that's finger-licking good. Get 6 for $1.99. And hurry, honey, I'm home.
Something's pushing Vietnam vets over the edge.
They're victims of a conspiracy.
Now, one JAG officer will fight to find the truth on JAG, CBS Tuesday.
The field goal tip by John Hall. The wind is blowing that way. Here goes the kick. And as soon as this ball goes off his foot, it is no good. You can tell it's going to go right.
That's exactly what was happening to John Hall in his pregame practices. Every single kick ended up in the right corner of the end zone. He learned nothing from it.
Well, you kept pointing it out to me. I said, well, Greg, he's going to learn before the game starts.
John Elway and the Broncos begin at their own 31-yard line. Davis across the 35 to about the 36. Here's a look at the Broncos offense. Tony Jones, Schlereth, Nalen, Dan Neal, Harry Swain. NFL MVP Terrell Davis and Howard Griffith in the backfield. McCaffrey and Rod Smith, the wide receivers. Shannon Sharp is the tight end.
We go, big man.
Mike Shanahan looking for a second straight Super Bowl championship here in Denver. On 2nd and 5, Elway has the ball. Throwing long for McCaffrey, incomplete. A look at the Jet defense. 5th best in the AFC, 7th best in the NFL this season. Lyle, Ferguson, Logan Pleasant up front. Pro Bowler Mo Lewis leads the linebacker unit that includes veterans Pepper Johnson and Brian Cox in the secondary. Ray Mickens and Otis Smith are the corners. Victor Green and Corwin Brown are the safeties.
The New York Jets were ready for that long pass. Bill Belichick, the defensive coordinator, he says they always start the game with a long pass down the middle somewhere early to Ed McCaffrey.
Elway and the Broncos now spread the defense with 5 wide receivers, and Elway appeared to have lost the grip on the football as he let it go.
No ruling. The arm did go forward. That would be an incomplete pass. John Elway did not mean to throw that football, but when that arm goes forward, even though his intentions weren't to let it go, even if it falls out of your hand, it is an incomplete pass. Watch John Elway. Watch the blitz come from his right. Here it comes. He is going to get hit hard if he doesn't get rid of the football. But on a cold, windy day, early in the game, the football can be hard and slippery.
And now Tom Ruin kicked for 46.9 yards a punt this season. Gets it away. Dave Meggett from the 5. A hole up the middle. Stumbles across the 35 to about the 37-yard line. Good field position for the Jets when we come back. 59-yard punt, a 32-yard return.
why millions of people have moved to the digital home entertainment of DirecTV. Because DirecTV gives them more movies, sports, and a variety of programming they just can't get from cable. So what are you looking at? If it's not DirecTV, see your retailer for a demo today.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of the Super Bowl. DirecTV, what are you looking at? And by Nike.
Great shots like that. Today's game is provided by Southwest Airlines. Last week in the victory over the Miami Dolphins, the Broncos scored touchdowns on each of their first 3 possessions. Today, very important for the Jets that they get the Broncos to go 3 and out. Testaverde to throw. Under pressure, lobs it out, complete. Keith Byers. Byers across the 45 to the 43-yard line of the Broncos.
What a terrific job of Vinny Testaverde under pressure. Watch the quarterback. Here he is. He really has to anticipate the throw. Throws it up nice and soft, and look at the wind blowing the football around. But Keith Byers, even though he's a fullback, this is where he's the best as a football player. Running out of the backfield, going in motion, and catching passes.
Jets ball at the Denver 43. Martin. Back to the line of scrimmage. Loose football. The Broncos have it. Tyrone Braxton, number 34, with the recovery.
When you're running the football as a running back, anytime the hole doesn't happen, right away, you've got to protect the football because defensive players are coming from behind to strip the football.
Are you crazy? No, Johnny, don't!
I got saved!
No, Johnny! Johnny, I'm telling your mother! This isn't funny! Hey, sweetie, is that you? Johnny! Johnny!
I got him.
Oh, thank goodness! Johnny? Can I have yours?
They created their microprocessor in 1971, and the faster their chips have performed, the faster their company has grown. Today, the Intel design is the brains behind the majority of the world's PCs. By the 21st century, their chip could execute 2 billion instructions in 1 second. Where do you learn about such fast-thinking companies? Exactly. NASDAQ Amex, the market of markets.
This is how Dale Earnhardt Jr. fans will remember the 1998 NASCAR Busch Series champion. This is how his opponents will remember him.
Seeing nothing but the tail lights.
From alternators and wire sets to batteries and spark plugs, get the parts that power Dale Earnhardt Jr. AC Delco powers the winners.
What were 17 million people doing last Wednesday? They were making the premiere of 60 Minutes 2, the #1 program on any network. Don't miss it, Wednesday.
If you're a visitor at Mile High Stadium, the last thing you can do is make mistakes, and that's exactly what the New York Jets have done here, Phil.
2 of them so far. The field goal, not being smart enough, judging the wind, and then don't fumble the ball, especially when you're just trying to keep rhythm in the offense.
Terrell Davis on first down. Breaks it outside. Out of bounds inside the Jet 40-yard line. 16 yards and a Bronco first down.
Well, the big key is the New York Jets, they want to get up the field on the outside. Don't let Terrell Davis do this. And watch coming from the outside. Pepper Johnson, he's got to stay out there. He doesn't do it. A good block by the Denver offensive lineman. They seal Pepper Johnson. Watch Pepper Johnson. He can't get away from the block. Mark Schlereth, and then when you have a really good running game, look at the wide receivers. Eddie McCaffrey, you always have good blocking downfield to make those 10-yard runs into 20-yard runs.
Dwayne Carswell is in as a second tight end for the Broncos. The ball goes back to Davis. left side across the 35, and a pickup of about 5 on the play.
That was a good example of what we saw on that play that Bill Parcells talked about. He says we might play defense perfectly against Terrell Davis to stop the run. I think he's going to get 5 yards a lot of times when we do that. But that was a good example. The linemen stayed on their block on the offensive side. Terrell Davis, a hard runner, doesn't hesitate, picks up that extra 2 or 3 yards.
2nd and 5 from the 34. Elway, quick drop, throws the quick slant, and it's tipped at the line of scrimmage and falls incomplete. Chad Cascadden appeared to get a hand on the pass.
Now, Greg, I think we've heard it from both sides. Really good recognition by the Jets defense. Quick pass. Number 53, Chad Cascadden gets over, sees it. Ray Mickens, he's there anyway, but talking to both of these teams before the game this week, they both feel very confident they're going to move the football and score against the other team's defense.
John Elway yet to complete a pass in 3 attempts. Going to give it to Davis. Tries the right side and is going to come up short of a first down.
Notice, I think they're going to go for it on 4th down. That's one of the reasons why Mike Shanahan ran the football on 3rd and 5. You're immediately thinking ahead. You're going, if we can get 2, 3, 4 yards, I'm going for it on 4th down. With the win, no matter if it's in your face or to your back, it's a problem. Today, you might see more attempts on 4th down than you usually do during a football game.
Broncos 4 out of 10 in 4th down conversions, 2 out of 3 last week against Miami. Elway keeping, 1st down, inside the 25-yard line.
I mean, I know it's Terrell Davis, the runner, but when you're playing defense against the Denver Broncos in those situations, last week they threw a pass on 4th and inches. This time you've got to hold your ground. You need discipline. The Jets did not show it. That lets John Elway get to the outset. Of course, now, I know he's faking to Terrell Davis. That would have an effect on me, too. Now, Mike Shanahan, he knows he's called a play that could blow up, and he goes, come on, John. Yeah, I'll run him. It's his last game maybe here. I'm going to run him today, he says.
1st down from the 22, Davis. Tries to cut it back inside the 20, close to the 15-yard line. 7 yards on the play for Davis.
Now, you know, they're a little different, these Denver Broncos. When they throw the pitch play, watch Terrell Davis. He keeps his shoulders. Watch him turn them to the line of scrimmage, keep them parallel. Now he can cut back. As soon as he sees that first defender fall down or any space, he turns right up in there and gets positive yards.
The highest rushing yards per game in NFL history, 6 career playoff game. Davis again nudges his way across the 15, close to the 1st down line. One thing that every player with the Broncos and playing against the Broncos says about Terrell Davis, he's a patient runner. He doesn't immediately pop. He sits there, lets his blocking develop, and he's got terrific vision.
You know, you always need something that puts you over, that makes you different from everybody else, to make you great. Terrell Davis physically is terrific, but what he does is he diagnoses those plays, immediately makes the right cut, so he takes advantage of every single opportunity that's put in front of him.
The toss to Davis. Davis cuts it back across the 10, inside the 10. This is nothing new for Terrell Davis. He has wonderful starts at the beginning of a game. Look at his numbers by quarter this season.
Greg, he's physically very superior to a lot of running backs. So look at that first quarter. Then the conditioning and just the talent of the team shows that they can do it in the 4th quarter too. But the play calling for the Broncos usually keeps the other team off guard, off balance, and Terrell Davis really takes advantage of a defense being a little unsure of itself early in the game, but just running hard.
1st and goal from the 9. Davis. Close to the 5. Otis Smith up from the cornerback position for the tackle.
You know what I found interesting coming into this week? Everybody talking about these two teams. Now, everybody sees Bill Parcells. He's a big, tough guy. They're a tough team. He's tough. Mike Shanahan, he's not real tall. No, you know, he's thin, in shape, all this. Well, they're finesse. Couldn't be any farther from the truth. This Bronco offense especially is all about power and being tough. The New York Jets, they're all finesse on offense, so you can't be misled by the looks of the head coach.
Derek Lavelle has replaced Davis in the backfield. And he gets the handoff. To the 3, maybe to the 2-yard line. A pickup of about 4. Anthony Pleasant, Corwin Brown on the tackle.
2 things so far. Terrell Davis taking a breather, had quite a few runs here early, but 2 things. Denver is running the football with power, and they're running it hard. And you got to say, even though they're moving down the field, you can see the Jets are in position to make the tackles and not giving up those big gaping holes that we've seen most teams give up.
There is a timeout on the field. And it has been called by the Denver Broncos with 2:20 to play here in the first quarter.
Who are you?
I was hired by your roommate.
Well, out of my way, I want a Bud Light.
I don't think so.
This is ridiculous. I live here.
Sorry. You ain't on the list.
List? Is there a problem, Bruno?
Nothing I can't handle.
That's what I like to hear.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down, make it a Bud Light.
Now am I on your list?
Let's see. Nope.
Now that is a sweet investment.
You have a retirement plan?
Oh, sure. Invest, get rich, retire at 45.
Well, I'm 58.
Huh? Oh, your retirement plan.
Who's looking out for your investments? E-Trade, the #1 rated place to invest online with free real-time quotes, 10 times more research, smart alerts, all from $14.95. Isn't it time you looked out for #1? Call 1-800-E-TRADE-1 and see why someday we'll all invest this way.
There's things that you're gonna see that you can't unsee.
To solve an unthinkable crime,
Tell me this atrocity is false.
Detective Tom Wells
Tom, where are you?
must risk everything he loves
Get out of the house now! Please, Amy, just do it!
and everything he believes.
No!
Academy Award winner Nicolas Cage.
There's no one left to finish this but me.
8mm, rated R. Opens everywhere February 26th.
Call it destiny. With seconds left, the freshman shoots and North Carolina wins by 1. The kid's name, Michael Jordan. March Madness on CBS.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by American Express. American Express helps you do more. And by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler.
Welcome back to Mile High Stadium in Denver. 2:20 to play first quarter. 3rd and goal for the Broncos from the 2-yard line. We talk about their terrific balance. Not here and not yet, but they're knocking on the door. Davis didn't get to the goal line, and it'll be 4th down.
4th down, let's see what it looks like Mike Shanahan has decided to go for it. I think first he wants to make sure and see where this football is marked. It looks like it's inside the 1-yard line. It's on the 1, so that's a little longer than you. Tough decision right here. Broncos are going for it.
On their last 4th down attempt, John Elway kept it around the right side.
That's right. Usually in these situations, the Broncos always come out with something different to catch the defense off guard.
Elway keeps, has a man in his face and throws incomplete, and the Jets hold. Mo Lewis.
You fool them once, you can't fool them twice. The Jets stayed disciplined, stayed in position. They stopped the 4th down attempt.
I'm the luckiest man alive. I just bought this camera. Does my Visa card have some kind of purchase coverage or something? No? Oh, boy. Hey, does Visa have any place out here I can pick up a new car today? No, but I'm driving to Vegas to see Steve and Edie tonight.
Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Wow!
What was that? Visa says they're everywhere, but American Express helps you with just about everything.
Okay, yeah. You think we should get help?
Nope, I got it.
So you can always do more.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Hi, I'm Doug Flutie, pro football player and father of an autistic child. A lot of people buy Flutie Flakes because a portion of the proceeds go to help autistic children. But there's another way you can help. Dial 1010-220 when you call long distance. You can talk up to 20 minutes for only 99 cents. And every time you use it, a donation will be made to the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation. So dial 1010-220, talk up to 20 minutes for only 99 cents, and help some great kids at the same time. It's a win-win situation. I wish football was this easy.
Kick off your week with Dave, David Duchovny, Kelsey Grammer, Cameron Diaz, Mariah Carey, Stupid Pet Tricks, Bruce Willis, Kid Scientist, Tara Lipinski. All this week on The Late Show.
It takes discipline in these situations. Mo Lewis, number 57, he shows the discipline he has. He doesn't go for the fake.
And the running play nets 2 yards. But a big defensive stand for the New York Jets, who had 2 critical mistakes early on, and then make the defensive stand, keep the Broncos out of the end zone, and the Jets still now have not allowed a first quarter point in any of their last 3 games.
The Jet defense showed they don't be a star, stay in your position, let the play come to you. They did that most of that drive. That's what kept the Broncos out of the end zone.
On 2nd and 9, penalty marker on the play.
Movement by the New York Jets.
And a little pile up in the end zone. That involves number 93, Trevor Price.
You know, Bill Parcells always had a little phrase when he wanted you to be disciplined on defense. In other words, when you see something.
Offense, number 84, 5-yard penalty. After this is the goal, still 2nd down.
That's tight end Fred Baxter.
He says when you see something on defense, you're a defensive player, and you see a little action, just don't go chasing it like a dog after a car. Be disciplined, wait. Don't be a car chaser. So far today, his defense has done that. I didn't want to say don't be a dog. You know, I didn't want to.
He will hear about it nevertheless.
It's okay.
2nd down from the 1. Martin barely struggles out of the end zone. Price and Glenn Cadrez were there to make the tackle.
This is something I think you're going to see all day long with this New York Jets running game against this Denver defensive line and linebackers. Look at the movement. Keith Traylor, Harold Hasselback. I mean, Curtis Martin is doing a terrific job to keep them getting tackled in the end zone. That's why the Jets got to throw the football before they can run it.
They're going to spread the field with 5 wide receivers. Blitz. Quick pass. Keyshawn Johnson can't break free of the tackle, and the ball is down. That is not a fumble. He is ruled down by contact, but it'll be 4th down. So we will have a 4th down punt, but not until we change ends of the field. We have played 1 here in Denver. The Jets and the Broncos scoreless.